Hey everybody, welcome to McFarland Minutes. I'm Natalie McFarland, founder and president of McFarland Productions, director at Off Your Rocker Films, and your host. In these episodes, you can expect deleted scenes, in-depth campaign reviews, project highlights, marketing concepts, book reviews, and a deep dive into the creative process at Off Your Rocker Films. We'll also be covering invaluable lessons on mentorship, leadership, and the business of it all. We are so excited to be releasing our episodes every Sunday as your soft launch to Monday. Hey everybody, welcome to McFarland Minutes, your soft launch to Monday. This week we get Bryce, the executive director of the Dude Ranchers Association, getting it all right. And we're super excited to have her on. The thing that's special about the DRA this year is that this is 100 years. What organization in the West can you think of that is a association-based, member-based type organization that has made it to 100? I can't think of very many. Bryce, what's it like being the executive director of a 100-year-old organization?
Well, thank you for having me, Natalie. It's an honor to be here. And it's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
It's amazing. We hit 2026 and it's like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
It is here. And we've talked about this for so many years, pretty much since I started. And it was kind of this daunting, looming, date that was coming, and only daunting because it is such an honor to be a part of such an incredible milestone.
Big
And now
undertaking.
it's here. Huge,
Yeah.
huge. And now it's here. We're diving in head first. It is, on its way. So
Yeah. Okay, so I want to get into the DRA, but I want to talk about you and your background first. You are one of the coolest people in the industry that I know. I absolutely love any time I get to chat with you. But can you tell us a little bit about your story so that everybody else can get to know you?
yeah, well, that means a lot because I think you're one of the coolest people in the industry. It's sometimes hard to place myself amongst you, Katie Schrock, Aaron DeLong. Like it's just,
The
never
best
thought I
part
would
is
be
that
in
we're
this.
all buddies, and I love
I
it when we
know, and
end up
it's
in the same place at the same time. That's really
yes,
it.
it's my favorite times of year for sure is when we get
Yeah.
together. So always at a business event because we're all so
Yeah.
busy. But
Yeah, it may only be 5 minutes and we're like waving at each other on the way by, but
yes, but it happens. It usually at least once a
Yeah.
year. So yeah, my name's Bryce Albright. I'm the executive director for the National Dude Ranchers Association. I was born and raised in between Montana and Wyoming, kind of spent time in both, graduated high school and college in Montana. And has dude ranching's been a part of my story forever. I always joke that if it weren't for dude ranching, I wouldn't be here. And pretty much any interview you hear, you'll hear this exact same, kind of byline with me, but it's true. My folks met on the Triangle X Ranch in Jackson, Wyoming, and the rest is history. 35 plus years later, three kids, and if it weren't for dude ranching, I wouldn't be here. So I grew up on a dude ranch, though. My aunt and uncle managed a ranch outside of Dubois, Wyoming, and my folks helped run that in a sense. My dad took pack trips, helped wrangle, did the horse side of things, and then also electrical because my dad's an electrician by trade, and just kind of helped on that side of the structure. And then my mom just kind of did whatever. She filled in everywhere. She cooked, she baked, she cleaned cabins, helped in the wintertime in the office. She did it all. And so as kids had the opportunity to grow up alongside guest ranch kids. And then in 2000, gosh, it was 11 before I even was technically legally allowed to work. I started on that ranch, working and worked there for 7 years. Met my husband there, and yeah, then I was a scholarship recipient for the Dude Ranch Foundation, and that really kind of teed me up for my career with the Dude Ranchers Association. It wasn't long after I graduated college that I had the opportunity to come to work for the association, in a very short 18 months after I started as an administrative assistant. I had the opportunity at 22 years old to take on the role of the executive director, and I've been with the association 8 years in 2026.
What big boots to fill as a 22-year-old, you know? I mean, having grown up in it, obviously you didn't come into it with no experience, right? You had plenty of experience in the industry, but what was that like to be a 22-year-old executive director? I mean, sometimes even in our mid 30s, you know, people are like executive director, you know, or CEO, you know, like, but, you
Yeah.
know, what is that like? What was that like being so young in such a big position?
It was incredibly difficult. I mean, talk about imposter syndrome. Holy cow. I still fight it. I mean, I think anybody that does work in these kind of bigger realms understands that. But as at 22, I mean, it was something that I was very honored to be given that opportunity, and that's what it was. You know, it was something I had worked for, but in a lot of people's minds, I hadn't paid my dues. You know, and I think there's still people that think that. But I
The
did know
reality
the
is you
industry.
did since you were 11.
Yeah. And I loved the industry, and it was what I knew. It was all I knew. It was the main jobs I'd worked, you know, I had done everything in every position on a ranch. And it was really tough though, but probably the most daunting part is I filled the shoes and never filled the shoes, but I stepped in to somebody that had been with the association almost 20
Oh my
years,
goodness.
is filling that role. And that was hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I had huge expectations to meet that were honestly unattainable.
Mhm.
And she was somebody that had literally brought the association to a new age.
Sure.
Uh, Websites weren't a thing before
Mhm.
she started, you know, so she brought them into the digital age and helped so many ranchers through financial crises and so many different things, you know, economy wise, that it was insane to try and think about stepping into that. And even shortly after that was COVID.
Great.
And so yeah, I got thrown right into the deep end,
Yeah.
and so but I learned a lot. I wouldn't have changed it, honestly. It was a trial by fire. I had a really fantastic board of directors that it took a few years to really earn their trust and their loyalty, but they stood by me, and now they are some of my biggest cheerleaders. You know, they have been so supportive and of not just my career but my family, and they've been with me through honestly some of the biggest changes of my life. You know, I got married when I was working for the DRA. I've had both my kids working for the DRA. I bought my house working for the DRA. Like, you know, it's they're kind of like this other, you know, family
Yeah.
that I have that has really supported me, but it was huge to try and even tackle that. But I'm grateful for the opportunity, and it has set me up for a lot of success in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. You probably had some pretty incredible mentors along the way that you know, I certainly have that helped you really grow into the role or maybe grow even past what you thought the role required, you know. What who are some of those
Yeah.
people that really just became a mentor for you?
Yeah, it's kind of tough because it in such a young age, you know, my mentors before my job were people, one, I had worked for, but two, like teachers,
Mhm.
honestly. And so one of my biggest mentors is actually the folks that I worked for on the ranch.
Cool.
So Hunter and Molly Sullivan. And it's kind of just become an amazing full circle. You know, Hunter um got onto the board before I started. He'd been in that position for a couple years, and now he serves as the president, which is really
That's
cool. It's
very
kind of a
fun.
cool it's a cool personal milestone, I think, for both of us because here we are in the 100th year, and he's defied a lot of barriers being not an owner of a ranch.
Mhm.
He's a general manager, and they're becoming more known, but it's pretty unknown
Sure.
in this industry. Most of them are owner operated ranches. And so Hunter and Molly both have been huge supporters. I mean, they were huge supporters of me going into this job, of course, but they really teed me up. I always say they raised me through the hardest years because they had me in the summertime as a teenager
They
working.
did.
Yeah, they did raise me through the hard years, and my parents will credit them for that too.
Yeah.
But you know, they have been incredible and are always such huge supporters. They're the ones I call when things go wrong, even though, you know, sometimes it's because of their fellow ranches that I'm having a hard time with, you
Yeah.
know, or you know, that I'm working through issues with, you know, within the organization and whatnot. So, you know, they're huge ones. And then honestly, just a peer mentor is Katie Schrock. I mean, she is the one I call for everything. I mean,
If
she
you get to
has
know
really,
Katie, I feel like it's just her default position. She's
it
just that
is.
person,
It is.
She's so
She
great.
is. And I default to her for so much. I mean, and she's somebody I bounce ideas off of. She's somebody that has helped us make make moves
Yep.
in this association as well as we've worked up to our 100th. And she'll be a big part, is already a big part of our
Yeah.
centennial. And but she's always just a listening ear. She's a great friend, but also a huge business mentor
Mhm.
for me. And if it weren't for those three, I mean, Hunter, Molly, and Katie, I would definitely not be where I am
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, it definitely takes a team to get it all done. But
For sure.
okay, convention is when this comes out, I think it's only going to be like a week out. When we're recording, it's like 10 days out.
Yeah.
100-year convention, run me through it. What does it look like?
It's going to be literally the biggest convention we've ever had
Mhm.
in association history, which is amazing. And it's honestly such an incredible feeling to know that we are staring down the barrel of another monumental historical event.
Mhm.
Seriously. So, convention is January 26th through the 30th. It's going to be in Billings, Montana. A lot of fun number sequences there.
Mhm.
So, the association was started in 1926, okay, in Bozeman, Montana. The reason we didn't host it in Bozeman is because they didn't have a location big enough for us that's a convention center and a
Sure.
hotel. So we defaulted to Billings, which is actually where the first convention itself was held.
Cool.
And so that's pretty cool. And this is actually the 19th time we will have hosted a convention in Billings, which is pretty fun.
1926. I'm pulling it.
Yes.
I like
And
it.
so that's pretty cool. And then looking down, 2026, looking down the barrel of that, we actually have 26 Centennial ranches that are, and we're defining those as dude ranches that are current members of the DRA that were also taking guests in 1926 or before. So it's pretty cool. We have 26 within the association that meet that criteria. And then we also, some more fun numbers is we'll have 26 vendors in
That's
attendance at our
awesome.
convention. That was not on purpose. It's just how it worked out with
That's
space.
awesome.
And we start the convention on January 26th of 2026. So a bunch of fun little numbers there that kind of all
Like
align, but
that.
it's going to be a great event. We're super excited. Over 300 people plan on attending. We have some elected officials that plan on being in attendance to honor this celebration, along with 59 of our member ranches from across the U.S. and Canada that will be attending to celebrate with us. Like I said, vendors, sponsors, and we host a myriad of different events during this convention. So, of course, it's fun, mixed with a lot of business as well. It's our annual meeting, so we do conduct association business at this meeting, but then we also are going to be premiering alongside Wyoming PBS, the documentary of about 100 years of dude ranching called Call of the West. That's going to be January 27th. It's sponsored by Billings Livestock Horse Sales, and it's a free event that's open to the public in Billings. So if there's anybody listening that's going to be,
And
available, you should
around
definitely come.
somewhere near. Yeah, go fill that
Yes.
theater.
6:30. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be an amazing documentary that Wyoming PBS put together. And then we will have a live band. We do an auction fundraiser. We're getting, some of the local FFA chapters involved. So it's going to be really just a fantastic event, and we're so excited for it to be able to celebrate 100 years. And it just kicks off our year, and then we will celebrate throughout 2026 of the centennial year.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit like I need to go, having been born on 2/26. There's too many 26s in this
There's
thing.
too many
It's calling
26s
me,
here, Natalie. Come on.
Maybe I need to go to Billings.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, I got to go to convention 3 years ago, maybe. I think it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. That one was in Idaho. You guys always put on a great convention. I feel like there's great learning, there's great fun after opportunities, and it's clear that you guys actually get some association work done as well. So I'm sure the Centennial is only going to be a giant version of that. So I'm very excited about that
Yes.
for you.
We're excited to host some really great speakers this year too. Just covering a variety of different topics that apply to dude ranches.
Mhm.
So we're pretty excited to see all of those speakers come together as
That's
well.
awesome. Um, what was it like in the planning stages of all of this? Right now, we're right on top of it, but you and I think originally talked about the Centennial at least 3 years ago, and what that was going to look like, and starting to plan for that. And we talked about the documentary way back then. What has it been like doing the planning and like the little pieces that you've pulled together over time? You mentioned, you guys are doing custom boots and things like that, but I'll let you explain.
It's surreal that it's here, like, that we're finally at this point, and it'll be even crazier once we're done, not even just with the year, but with the convention. I
Yeah.
mean, we've been working towards this, like you said, for 3 plus years now,
Yeah.
and like I mentioned earlier, we've been staring down the barrel of this Centennial for 8 years since I've worked for the association, and it's been very pressure filled, but, I think we reached out to you over a year ago
Mhm.
plus to McFarland Productions created our Centennial logo.
Mhm.
And so if you go anywhere you look, and Natalie and her team absolutely nailed it.
Thank
And it
you.
is a staple piece and it's going to go down in history. I mean, this logo is so special to us, and it's literally everywhere.
Yeah. I'm so excited
Um,
to see all the places it's been used. I think that's honestly
yes,
the most fun part about designing stuff like that is just like watching it
yes.
exist in the world, you know?
Yeah. And it's not something we created on our own, which is cool. It was a very collaborative effort between me and my team, and then also Natalie and her team, and or you and your team,
Mhm.
I should say. And so it's super cool to see it. Yeah, we've got Durango Boots. We worked with them on a special project that's going to be revealed at the convention. We've worked with Montana Silversmith, who both of those are official. Durango's the official boot of the Dude Ranchers Association, and Montana Silversmith is the official silversmith of the DRA. And so, love that we were able to bring our partnerships together to work on that as well. And then, like our Ranch Hand program, which is a really fun magazine style program that we launched last
Mhm.
year, that's taken shape, and it's really neat, what we've been able to do with that this year. And so honestly, working on all of these projects, like, a lot of them came together very fast,
Mhm.
because it was like you're laying in bed at 2 in the morning nursing a baby, quite frankly, is my reality right
Yeah.
now. And it's like, oh man, it would be cool if we did something like that. So,
That's
the
when
next morning
my
I can
favorite
wait.
ideas come up too, and it's really
Oh yeah,
inconvenient for my team.
I really wait until I do try to be respectful and wait till, the right
I u
hours
it usu
to,
my message usually starts with, "Please ignore me till a reasonable hour," but I can't wait to
yes.
tell you
I
this.
need to I definitely need to add that into my
Yeah.
language, because, yeah, I always am like, "What time zone are they in? Because is it reasonable to text them at this hour?" But, and then that's the beautiful part of the network, that I have as well, that I'm so fortunate to have grown, through the association, is I have so many people that I can be like, "Hey, what if we did something like this?"
Mhm.
And they make it happen.
Mhm.
I mean, it's so cool, but this has been a labor of love.
Mhm.
There is no doubt. And, you know, I do remember telling my team probably about 6 months ago. It was after I came back from maternity leave from having my second. And it was kind of like, whoa,
I'm
okay.
tired.
We actually we need to quit talking about it, and we actually have to start doing
Yeah,
it now.
we
We
need to
have to
pull
start,
some triggers.
yeah, we have to start putting these things into motion. And probably the most difficult part, to be completely transparent and totally honest, and anybody that works with a board of directors knows this, is that the board did not actually provide a lot of direction
Mhm.
on what they wanted. And it's not a slam by any means on boards.
They
Uh,
meet once a
but it
month, sometimes a little bit more
Yeah,
than that, and
we
yeah.
meet 3 times a year,
Yeah, so, like,
and
making decisions
they
takes
didn't
time.
really know
Mhm.
what to even expect from
Right.
us, you know? And so that was really hard. I mean, to try and shoot in the dark and hope it
Yeah.
works, and hopefully we're meeting expectations. And there's been a lot of pressure with that. Just especially as we're getting closer, and trying to manage budgets, and trying to still work as a nonprofit
Mhm.
as organization. I
Yep.
mean, we are a trade organization, but still, and maintain membership. And on top of it, we're planning this monumental convention and year while also still trying to do, all the other parts of the association too.
Yeah.
So it's been really interesting, but uh, it's been very insightful.
Hmm.
We've learned a lot, and probably one of the most daunting things is like, I feel like we're setting a very high expectation for ourselves. To
You're
now we're
like,
like,
shoot, I'm
man,
gonna have to pull this off next year too.
next year's not going to be near as cool as this year. Like, we're going to have to really bring it together.
Yeah.
But we've had some amazing partners come in. Like I said, sponsors, vendors that have really wanted to showcase just 100 years. And I think they'll definitely be around for the long haul, which is just really cool to see them all come together and see the ranches get excited about this and really, just see everyone collaborate on it. It's been really neat. And like I said, to be able to bring in teams like yours, Aaron's, Callie's, all of those people to make this happen has just been it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see us be able to support other Western industry, you know, businesses as
Yeah,
well through
for
this.
sure. So convention is the kickoff. What's the plan for the rest of 2026 look like? Anything you can talk about yet?
Man, well, we have a lot of things in the
Yeah.
works. Nothing that's super solidified yet, but we're really hoping to be able to kick off some screenings of this documentary throughout the uh, year
Hmm.
and be able to host some really cool events in Cody this summer, which is where we're headquartered, Cody, Wyoming. And we do actually have a new installation coming into our museum in Cody, which is a free museum and all about dude ranching. And it's actually going to be a portrait
Oh,
exhibit
cool.
that was created by a gentleman by the name of Scott Baxter.
Hmm.
And this is actually a byproduct of a book that just came out. And there is a team in Arizona, and they teamed up with the Dude Ranch Foundation,
Hmm.
which is our 501c3. And they did amazing work. And they came to us about a year ago. It was literally maybe 18 months
Hmm.
ago now, and said, "Hey, what if we did this coffee table book
Ooh.
on the Centennial
Yeah.
ranches of the
Yeah.
association?" This team was incredible, and this is not their only job.
Mhm.
Okay, they all help run ranches around the Western US. They do all this stuff. And so Ranch Preservation Foundation came in with this idea, worked with Scott and Barbara Baxter, and produced this gorgeous coffee
I
table
love a
book.
good
And
coffee
it's
table book. I got a David
yes,
Stockland. I never know if I'm saying his name right. I got
yes.
one when I was like, I don't know, probably 12. I thought it was the coolest thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna need one
This
of
is the
those.
book. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful collection of photos,
Hmm.
of course, but also it's a history book. It is
Stories of it.
straight up a history book. These guys went and first of all, Scott Baxter traveled to 26 ranches in less than a year to
That's
photograph
one
them
every
all.
other week.
Yes, it was insane. And he is a
Yeah.
machine. And then
I don't think he ever
that
went
whole
home.
team, no, no, not really.
He
And
just
then that whole
lived at
team
Dude Ranches all year.
pretty much, which is some people's
I
dream,
mean, I can't
honestly.
blame him.
Yeah, and so they went and did though then the rest of the team went and I mean they verified that every ranch had been operating in this time and then they went and pulled history from all of these ranches and wrote the copy and did all this design and everything and so that just launched actually uh at the first of the
That's
year. And
incredible.
so those are available for purchase and the funds go from these books go to the Dude Ranch Foundation to help with their efforts. So that's super cool. I mean, it's a book entirely dedicated to the 100 years of dude
That
ranching,
is really cool.
and
That I like for the
so
people
much
who
fun.
have never worked in print, like that is no small feat to get that done, right? To produce the
No,
content is already a feat. To just do the
yeah,
print design and get it to the point that you're like, okay, print, right? Like once you push that like go button, like that is the end of it. And it takes an
yes,
excessive amount of work to get there. We've designed lots of catalogs and things like that, and we got this crazy idea. Thank you, Katie Schrock, to make a magazine this year. And a magazine is nothing compared to 100-year, coffee table book, right?
book.
Like that is much more
Yeah,
difficult. But like I kind of forgot how difficult it was to do like a full magazine layout and that kind of thing. So I have a lot of
yeah,
appreciation for the amount of work that went into that for sure. That's a very cool
me too.
book.
I still look at this thing every day because it sits right on my desk, and I'm like, it's
Yeah.
amazing that they turned that around and did it, and it was so cool. But yeah, I also, on the point of the magazine, I think Katie Schrock is single-handedly trying to bring back
I think
print
she is, yeah.
because she
I think
also
sh
helped
when you said
um,
magazine, I was like, "That's got Katie Schrock written all over it."
all over it. Yep, she is the one. And so, yeah, she wrote some articles for us this year in this one, and yeah, it's just amazing though. The book is cool. But looking at the rest of the year, we're hoping to do some open houses in
That'd be
Billings,
very cool.
or I'm sorry, in Cody
Mhm.
at the museum. And then we're also really looking to also just create some buzz around Dude Ranches. We're doing, actually, this is
Ooh, I like
exciting,
this already.
because we've put it into motion already with the ranches, but we're actually doing a National Dude Ranch Week.
Cool.
And it's something that we're just starting this year. I'm hoping to continue it, but actually what it's going to be is it's March 1st through the 7th
Like it.
of this year. And during that week, we have ranches that are participating in offering special pricing that week for guests that
Oh,
book a
cool.
stay in 2026. So as long as they book between the dates of March 1st and March 7th for any time in 2026, they get special discount pricing. And so we're going to have a lot of different promotion around that, and we're super excited to launch that. That'll be coming out actually about the 1st of February with all of the information, but it's just going to be super
That's
neat.
awesome.
And we're hoping to continue to grow that over the next couple of years, to keep that a real thing,
Yeah.
and make it neat. And so we're hoping to do a couple other activations that week that we're working on, potentially a trip giveaway to a dude ranch along with some of our other partners. And then we're also hoping to do something really special for our actual birthday, which is in September.
Cool.
And so the association was officially formed on September 27th and 28th of 1926. And so we're hoping to do something that's pretty special on the birthday. We're working on a lot of things right
Yeah,
now.
that's gonna
So
be cool. There's so many things, that can really go into pushing a brand at any time in their history. But at 100 years, there's so many opportunities to work with partners who have been supportive of you, or, your own association members, or whatever it is. And it's just fun to see like what all the DRAs got planned for the 100 year. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment, especially for an association in our industry. And like, there's a lot of factors that go into making it 100 years, especially I'm
sure.
sure there was a portion of the history where it was pretty volunteer, and
Oh
for
yeah.
volunteer organizations to end up making it 100 years without getting fatigue, it says a lot about what the organization's doing for their members, for the industry, for, ranching and all of that, and to your credit, how you've treated your partners. There's a lot of accomplishments there beyond just being able to say 100 years. It just means that you guys have been crushing it for 100. So,
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's really special. I mean, and I think it just more than anything though speaks to the resiliency of dude ranches
hmm
and dude ranchers, because if you look back at the time of when this was actually started, it was the roaring 20s,
yeah.
really.
Yeah. I mean,
And
everybody thinks the 20s and they go, Great Gatsby, right?
exactly. But
Speakeasies,
I'm like,
flapper girls,
yeah,
Great Gatsby.
yes. And I mean, same,
Yeah.
because I do the thing. But, this is when they started. Like, this is when they came together and said, okay, we're going to actually make this a legitimate business,
hmm
and we're going to promote it. We're going to send people back east
hmm
to speak about this. We're going, and these guys were so ahead of their time,
hmm
and they were so smart. Like the way they advertised, I mean, they advertised before advertising was a thing, you know? And they partnered with
Cowboy
Northern
ingenuity,
Pacific.
you know?
They did, and it was so cool. And they partnered with Union Pacific, Northern Pacific
That
Railway.
was a great
Uh
idea. In
oh yeah, because that's how,
1926, great
yeah,
idea.
that's how they had to get out here. And who would have thought of that? Except, they claim cowboys are dumb, which sometimes I will, agree
Sometimes.
with that, but sometimes. Dude ranchers, on the other hand, though, they were swifty. I mean, these people literally created a business from people who wanted to come work on their ranch. They were literally getting paid for people to come help them.
hmm
You know? I mean, they turned a business model that was
It makes you
unimaginable.
wonder
And
what that conversation was originally like. Somebody was
right.
like, "You know what would be a great idea?"
You know what we should do?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, it all started with a family-owned business, which is even cooler. The Eatons brothers were really they're credited as the first dude ranch. It was actually started in North Dakota, but after some really hard winters and cattle markets, they moved
Is
over
any
to
winter not a really hard winter
here.
in North Dakota?
This is valid. That's a valid. Yeah, my sister went to grad school in Fargo, and yeah, I'm like, I don't
Fargo.
know how you did it.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, but it's just really neat, to see what all they've done in a century of it and how resilient they were. I mean, they made it through world wars. They made it through financial
Mhm.
crises, the stock market crashing
Gas
twice. Like,
shortages, yeah,
yeah,
mortgage
gas,
craziness, the interest rates
yeah,
going up wild, like
COVID.
COVID.
Like, they literally made it and they thrived. That's what's amazing is they thrived
Mhm,
through COVID because people wanted to be outside.
mhm,
They still wanted to vacation. They still wanted to go somewhere.
mhm,
They just couldn't go overseas or they didn't want to get on an airplane. So they drove.
mhm.
And actually, one of the most interesting things, and I didn't learn this until COVID and until I was trying to find somewhere to go on a honeymoon that was all inclusive because I didn't want to have to plan all this
Right.
stuff.
Nothing better than
And
leaving your phone and your purse in your room and see you bye and just do whatever you
yep,
want.
see ya. Don't even have to think about
Yeah.
it. Is there are no all inclusives in the US
Mhm,
besides dude ranches.
mhm,
So, that was also a huge selling point. Nobody wanted to get on cruise ships. Disneyland was shut down.
mhm.
So they had to find something else, and dude ranches
Yeah.
thrived. And so they still are looking really strong. And, of course, pop culture had a huge part in that. City Slickers was like the revival of
Yeah,
dude ranches when that
Yellowstone, I'm
originally.
sure helped. Yeah.
And now Yellowstone,
Yeah.
has made a huge difference for dude ranches. However, it set some really unrealistic
I'm with
expectations.
you.
But it was huge credit
Yeah.
back to food ranches.
Yeah.
And so, it's been amazing. Like, it's just, I think God's way of, like, really trying to protect the cowboy way
Mhm.
and the cowboy lifestyle is he has made them survive through some of the hardest things, and then also has provided the resources to continue to make this industry thrive.
Yeah. This is kind of an aside, but I have this personal goal to finish reading
Mhm.
cover to cover because I've never actually read cover to cover my Bible all the way through, right? I got it on January
Yes.
5th. The goal is to do it by my birthday, February 26th. It's kind of a wild thing. It's way too many pages at
Happy
a
girl.
time. It's everybody's like, you're a nut. Most people read like two verses. I'm like, I'm going to read 26 pages a day.
Yep.
So
A
a
day.
day. Yeah.
Right?
So it's a little wild right now. But the number of
Yeah.
times that like cattle or ranching or farming or like working with the land is referenced throughout the pages is
Yeah.
like so many times, and like you're saying, just like the resources to be resilient, like have the
Yeah.
ability to even get it done, I think was biblical in a way.
Absolutely. Oh, and I think so too. I mean, and I think it's no small token, or coincidence, I guess is the better word, that Lonesome Dove is also celebrating
Heck
its
yeah, it is.
70th
and
anniversary.
and kind of has this little revival thing going. Thank you, Cowboy Channel.
Yes, it's so cool. And so yeah, it's like all of these things that have lined up in 2026 to really celebrate the cowboy.
Mhm.
In 2020 and 2021, we kind of really ran with like the terms and the slogans of like, this is the year to get outside, this is the year to be a cowboy.
Mhm.
And that kind of is stuck, like, because every year it's like something more comes around that gets people excited about the Western culture
Mhm.
and the cowboy culture, especially. And so we love that Dude Ranches can be a part of that. And truly, it's just our mission to get that out to people because people still don't know about this type of
Mhm.
vacation. They don't know about this type of experience. And it's crazy to us because we live it every
Right.
day, but at the same time, we're just having to get really creative on a very limited budget on how we get this idea out,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wish I was seeing more influencers, instead of showing me every resort, which Don't get me wrong, I am here for a beach and a margarita, right? Like,
Amen.
you, like, suggest it, my tickets are already booked, right? Like, it's pretty easy
Yeah.
to twist my arm into going to the beach, but, I think that, like, influencers could do a lot, and really enjoy it if they also included dude ranches as part of their,
For sure.
travel feel.
Yeah,
It's a different
exactly.
field. It's something a little bit unique, and it's still connected to being outside and the land and that same peace feeling you get while the waves are rolling in, right? So I think it's just a little
Honestly,
different.
there's so many ways it ties to so many different parts of life, like wellness, horses, people,
Sporting.
food, travel,
Mhm.
like everything. It's so cool.
Mhm.
Like that it is such a vast industry.
Mhm.
It covers so many pieces and it's really difficult.
Mhm.
I mean, because it covers so many pieces, there aren't reservation systems that are tailored specifically to dude
Which
ranches.
is
There are,
complex. It's a complex reservation situation.
yeah, because we are literally combining the outdoor industry of
Mhm.
activities with the restaurant industry and the hospitality industry. Like you will never find another one. And you won't find another industry that has to do all of that.
Yeah.
And then also fight, inflation and seasonal staff shortages and everything
Right,
else.
and, like, probably I can imagine, like, housing for staff even, because some of these
Oh yeah,
ranches they're not
they're
next to
old.
LA, you know?
Yeah,
So, there's
it's
not
insane.
exactly a whole lot of housing options around them,
Yeah,
So, it's gotta be a
yeah.
balance.
Jackson Hole.
Yeah.
Point and case.
Yeah, yeah, finding housing in Jackson Hole, you better be ready to break your pocketbook, you know?
Quite frankly, you better just be ready to live in
Yeah.
Idaho.
Live on the other side and just drive over every
And
day.
hope Teton Pass doesn't get an
Yeah,
avalanche. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
yeah. So,
Well, what is something that somebody maybe that has never heard about the DRA or wants to be more involved in the DRA or something like that, where should they go?
yes, duderanch.org. We have a huge amount of resources on our website. Anything from just learning about dude ranches to learning about our history, to learning about the partners we work with. And it includes an entire directory of all 90 ranches that
My
we have in
favorite
the
part. I
association.
love like using the
It is
filter
really
system
fun.
like, "Ooh, I wonder about, whatever state."
Yes. Which one has
Yeah.
this? Yes, it's super fun. And then also just about our Centennial. And then also one thing that is really big right now is we are in hiring season for all of our
Ooh,
ranches.
yeah.
Now, the association doesn't do any of the hiring, the ranches do it, but we have an entire free resource on our website that lists current openings. And
What a great,
so
like,
it's,
college summer or maybe even high school
yes, I
summer
cannot
if you're
recommend.
ready. That
Yeah.
would be the best summer job.
Want a break from corporate culture or just a new adventure, or you can put that internship off one more
Yeah.
year, you really should consider a dude ranch
You would
vacation
be surprised at what you could
or a
count
dude ranch
as a
summer.
as an internship as well. So, like, for example,
I did a business
there you
internship
go.
at a dude
My
ranch.
husband guided hunts in Colorado for his internship and his fisheries and
Yep,
wildlife degree. So, like, there's
yep.
ways to make that also an internship.
It's pretty amazing. Anything equine, of course, is pretty easy, but business. And honestly, I wish more ranches would really kind of get into the
Mm,
internship space. But if you are willing, speaking from experience from doing this, if you are willing to just lay it out for them and literally give them XYZ of what they need to do as an employer and for the internship, hardly any ranch will
yeah,
say no.
that's what we did too with
So,
the guide service that my husband went and worked
yeah.
with. There's a form usually that they need to fill out, and there's not a whole lot beyond that. So it's pretty easy to turn those into internships.
It's really cool
Yeah,
too, and if you wanna just go spend a summer in, like, some of the neatest places in the country, or even in Canada.
yeah,
We have ranches in Canada too,
yeah.
but it's so cool. So, that's a great resource, as well. So, anywhere, duderanch.org, or website is our website, and then Facebook and Instagram, Dude Ranch Vacations, and then also, there's just a great amount with our Dude Ranch Foundation as well. They offer scholarships, educational programs, horse safety trainings, all of that. And so it's really fun. We cover a lot of different areas.
Imagine that.
So, yes.
Well, Bryce, this has just been awesome to be able to help you guys celebrate a little bit of the 100 year, especially with the convention coming any minute in Billings.
Yes.
So I appreciate you taking the time. I know you've got a crazy schedule at the moment. So appreciate you being on here, and always good to chat with one of my good buddies.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, Natalie, and for always being just such a huge supporter of Dude Ranches and Dude Ranching and just always lifting us up and for designing the incredible logo that we have and working with us on that. It was seriously the starting point that we had to like
Push it over
get
the
that
edge.
over downhill running, but it's been so great to be able to have all of those resources seriously.
Yeah.
And just, when people are like, "Hey, do you have it in this file?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I do."
Yes, I do.
You know,
Yeah.
it's it was just so easy to work with you guys, and we
Oh,
love
well,
it.
thank you
So
for
it
letting
was,
us do it. It's always an honor to design any logo, but 100 year is awfully special. So we were excited to do it for
yes,
sure.
like I said, you're a big part of ingrained in the history. So
Look at us go.
we love it. Look at you go. Add that to your resume. So
Thanks, Bryce. I appreciate you. And yeah,
yeah,
we'll put all the resources in the blog for this. So we'll have the DRA's website, put a little bit about the convention, all of that stuff in there. So thank you. Appreciate
awesome.
it. And hopefully we get to have you on the podcast again, maybe after a crazy 100th year.
Probably in 2027.
Thanks.